Sorry, I didn't want to scream tonight. There's a lot more people. Hello, everybody, and good evening. Let's welcome to the stage your 7th grade band. So we have had one heck of a year. We had OMS's first fall concert in a really, really, really long time, as we led into a nice Christmas concert, which led into straight ones at District MSBOA Festival. Let's hear it up for that. After festival, we led into Mackinac season, which was a load of fun. We spent the night on the island, got to stay at Mission Point, and that was for 7th and 8th graders. And tonight we end our year with our spring concert, which has a couple fun tunes for you guys. We share this concert with the orchestra, so orchestra families, thanks for being here. If you don't know me, my name is Brad Schmaltz. I'm the band guy at the middle school. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Here's Looking Up. The next piece we're playing is Cyclone. This is one of the pieces that we prepared for Mackinac. And so the challenging part of that Mackinac trip is I have to find something that is challenging for 7th grade, challenging for 8th grade, but attainable for both, and managing different skill levels. And so this next piece, Cyclone, kind of fits in that wheelhouse, and I've invited 2 of our percussion friends to join and fill in on parts that we didn't have enough percussion for in 7th grade. So thank you, boys, and thank you, parents, for having them here early. But yeah, so here is Cyclone by Michael Orr. I really love this 7th grade class. They were kind of my guinea pigs this year because this was the first year that I'd split 7th grade. And that is, you can tell it really helps. Like their skill level, their development, like their dedication to what they're doing. They come and say hi every morning. It's great, it's fun. I've been grumpy for like the past month because I'm swamped and they just put a smile on my face and everything's good. But we're gonna finish this year out. Before I let y'all go, want to make an announcement. The orchestra is going to play directly after us. So if you want to meet your child out in the PAC lobby, watching your volume because the doors are probably going to be open so we can give the 7th grade orchestra the respect that we got. That would be fantastic. As always, it is the spring concert, so your child's going to ask for ice cream because I told them to ask for ice cream because that's what I'm doing after I'm done. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Looking forward to Cedar Point here in a couple weeks, and then we'll see you again in the fall. And thanks for a great year.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mr. James Beresny. I'm the orchestra director at Oxford Middle Schools. On stage right now, we have our 7th grade orchestra. In a little bit, we're going to welcome the 8th grade orchestra to join these guys. Before we play a piece for you guys, there's a couple of important things I want to mention before the end of the school year. This is actually going to be beneficial even if you're a band family, a band parent, to hear before the end of the year. A lot of our school rentals go through Marshall Music, so I just have a couple of quick things about that. One is, if you're not aware, when you started a rental contract with Marshall Music, they have this program, I believe it's called Pay to Own, or Play to Own, or Rent to Own, something like that. But basically, this is all rental contracts that you would have with or through Marshall Music. As you're renting the instrument month to month, year to year, your equity, they sort of keep track of your equity, your rental equity, and that builds from month to month and year. And after a number of years, you have this rental equity that you can actually use all of to purchase a new instrument for your student to keep, probably once they're in high school. So why I'm saying this now at the end of the school year is that if there's anybody who's like, oh, I can save a couple dollars over the summer and not rent. Well, what happens if you're renting through Marshall is that will close your contract. So even if you pause it for a month or two, the contract will end and you'll have to restart the contract. So it's probably in your best interest not to do that, so you build that rental equity and then you can use all of that money to buy an instrument in the future, sometime in the future. Like I said, a lot of kids, once they get to high school, they start thinking about that. The other thing about Marshall is, if you happen to own an instrument or you have bought an instrument from Marshall, which maybe there might be some 8th graders who have bought at this point, either an orchestra or band, or maybe they're thinking about buying, something to know about is they have, I don't know the name of it, things have changed since COVID with names and terms. But it's essentially, it's like a yearly instrument maintenance deal, where you own your instrument, it's yours, it's 100% yours, but you're paying Marshall, I don't know what the cost is, it might be different for different instruments, but it's a yearly cost, and it's worth it in my eyes for string instruments, for sure, because we should have fresh strings for big instruments, maybe once every 2 or 3 years. For the violins and violas, the smaller ones, they should have new strings once a year, and then everybody up here, all the instruments, should get a new bow rehair at least once a year. And if somebody's playing a lot, maybe more than that. And so rehairs, your yearly rehair costs $60 just from there. I believe the string instrument contract thing for this insurance thing is about $100. So that's just to know, like if you own an instrument, you can call Marshall Music and get on that. That's an opportunity just for any maintenance, anything that happens, you're covered. They will fix it for free, and it's a good deal because these instruments get a lot of wear and tear. So just a couple things about Marshall Music. Next, for orchestra families, we have a middle school string camp that's going to happen for the first time June 10th and 11th. It's the Monday and Tuesday after the school year ends. We're going to be doing it at the middle school, basically 10 a.m. until 12 noon, both days, with a concert, a little performance for family and friends on the second day. We're going to play some new tunes that we've never seen before, learn them with the help of a bunch of our high school leadership team, who are high school orchestra members. And that, I think, is like maybe my favorite part of this that we've designed and cooked up this year for this camp, because these high schoolers who play these instruments are rock stars. They're awesome. They've been doing it, they've gone through this, and they've had these fun experiences, and they just sort of will be basically pouring that onto all of our young musicians as they're nearing their high school time. For 8th graders, current 8th graders are also able to do this camp, even though they're graduating and going to the high school next year. And for them, it's an opportunity to get a close, in-depth, like sort of experience with some of those high schoolers that they're going to be seeing in their orchestra class the next year. So I recommend looking into that. I'll be resending out information about that summer camp opportunity in the future. There's also a high school summer camp I'll talk about a little bit later. And the last thing I want to say, 7th grade. I'm very proud of the work that 7th grade orchestra has done this year. We have had to get over a bunch of hurdles since we started with this group, and I'm so proud of the work. Like you will hear, if you were at their fall concert, 7th grade family, you will definitely hear the difference tonight. And it's clear, and we've talked about a little bit in class, I think we're finding our identity as a group, and it's really starting to click, and I'm excited for it, because they're sounding great, and we're starting to, we have more fun. The better we sound, the more fun we have, and then the closer we get to each other, and the better we know each other, the more fun we have as well. So I'm really here, I'm really happy to be here, and to share some music with these guys before the rest of our concert. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy. This is The Red Lion. Okay, all right, thank you. Just a little bit of stage setup here. Thank you very much for your patience. I am glad to do this. There's not really an answer. Mr. Schmaltz and I have thought about many different things that we can do. But in order to make this concert actually quicker, this is actually the quicker way, which is kind of crazy, right? But thank you once again. We have it set up for band because they have more bodies, and then we kind of just fit in. So thank you very much for that. I want to mention that I am so proud that we get to do this combined band and orchestra concert for 7th grade and 8th grade at the end of the year. It's fantastic. I love combining this stuff, and we like to top it off. This is our 3rd year, I believe, doing it. We'll talk more later with the full orchestra where we combine the 8th grade with woodwinds and brass. But up here we have 7th grade and 8th grade orchestra. They're going to play 2 pieces. The first one is Knight Rider, and the second one is Fanfare and Celebration. And these are two pieces we played at Mackinac, and yeah, they're fun pieces, different in their different ways. One's in sort of this dark, sinister minor key, and then the other is basically a big celebration. Nice, bright and fun and big and loud. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much. just the 8th grade orchestra. Man, I love combining stuff. I just love putting things together, right? So we just had 7th and 8th grade. It's awesome, the big sound, I love it. 8th grade, this is the last time we're here together with me and them on stage for their middle school career. So this will be the last chance for me to enjoy making music. I already enjoyed those first 2 pieces amazing. And then Eureka is a piece that some of our students kind of looked through my music library and found and chose and landed upon. And it's really, I mean, you can tell why they chose it when you hear it. It's really nice and uplifting. It's awesome. It's a lot of notes too. So anyways, I am just going to have a good time up here for this one, and then after that we'll invite our woodwinds and brass to join us for 8th grade. Thank you very much. This is Eureka. I'm going to talk while we're doing our setup here. So here is the brainchild of Mr. Schmaltz and I. I remember we actually, Mr. Schmaltz and I, ended up student teaching when we were becoming music educators at college. We both studied at Michigan State University for our bachelor's, and we actually we ended up student teaching at East Lansing High School, not at the same time, but different years. And we were lucky to do that. They have a fantastic program there, really nice orchestra, band, and choirs, and they just like Oxford, it's like a very important part of their district as a whole, the arts and music in general. And so we were lucky enough to see their program do combined band and orchestra in their 8th grade, which is phenomenal. To just even see that happen in a middle school. And that's probably where we saw that first, Mr. Schmaltz and I, and it was both on our minds. And then I'm so lucky to work with this guy because he is just always thinking about opportunities, more opportunities for our students. And that's what we want for music. We want to bring the possibilities to you guys here in Oxford to make sure that our students have a lot of different things that they can do and grow and get better and learn, right? So we have what I think is 7th graders and 8th graders maybe, woodwinds, brass, and percussion joining our 8th grade orchestra. And our first piece is the New World Symphony, which is by famous Czech composer Dvorak. You might have heard of him. If you know classical music, you'll know like the New World Symphony is the work that he visited. Actually, he visited here a little bit in the Midwest. He spent some time in New York City in the Midwest. He took a trip from Europe to USA, and he sort of incorporated a lot of music and also ideas that things he observed here in the States and created a symphony. And it's by far his most well-known piece of music that he wrote. He wrote symphonies and chamber music, all sorts of stuff. And so this first piece is a rendition and arrangement of the last movement from that piece. And it sounds like Jaws at the beginning. And then our second piece is Romeo and Juliet, which is by another famous composer, Tchaikovsky, who is a Russian composer, and just right in the middle of the Romantic era of music, and very lush and strong emotions and big sounds and lots of rhythmic drive. So it's a great piece. We're so happy to introduce these young musicians to this fantastic music. I think probably raise of hands. Can I ask a question? Those on stage. How many of you guys knew the Dvorak before you saw this music or heard it? Did anybody know this? Yeah. Maybe? Romeo and Juliet? Maybe a couple people knew Romeo and Juliet. So this is why, right? Mr. Schmaltz and I, we do this because it's we just opened up a bunch of people's minds to sort of an area of music that maybe they didn't know was there before. And it's a lot of fun. Any words, Mr. Schmaltz?
So did he mention that we did this in 2 hours? No. Yeah, so we got 2 class periods, thank you Mr. Bigelow, wherever you're at, and to put this all together, and this is just an incredible experience. I'm a bassoon player, so in the band world, bassoon isn't heard, it's not really that special. In the orchestra world, it is a completely different experience. When I was in 7th grade, I had my first taste of full orchestra, and it led me to be where I am today. So I wanted to make sure that when I came to Oxford and working with Mr. Berezny, that we offered this opportunity because this is the classics, this is the greats, and I'm so thankful for all of this. So thank y'all for being here. I hope you enjoy.
music here in Oxford, right? So thank you so much to Mr. Schmaltz. Thank you so much to everybody who's on stage for making this happen. Fantastic job, right? So 8th grade, we're gonna go back to the orchestra, and then Mr. Schmaltz is prepping for
8th grade, 8th grade band will be out in 4 minutes.
4 minutes for 8th grade band.
All right, I want you to think back 3 years ago, in the land of masks and chaos and loud noise, and a lot of feelings were shared with this group and I over the past 3 years. And it's just kind of hitting me. This is the last one with them. So, love them to death. Let's have some fun. And they've grown up a lot. They talk a lot. They talk a lot. But we still have fun. If you were around for the 7th grade portion, we did this in 7th grade too, because this was one of our Mackinac pieces. So here is Cyclone. everybody the microphone? Okay. I got a couple announcements while I've got you here. Next Wednesday, you should have gotten an email, some sort of communication that it is the 8th grade celebration. Hopefully you know that. It's the new and improved honors night, where everybody goes. We were asked to play there. If you could please, the call time for kids for that is, I believe, 6 o'clock. If you can bring them just 15 minutes early so they can set their instruments down in the gym. So in between 5:45 and 5:50, just so they get their stuff down there. We'll play one more time next Wednesday. Pizza party is in the program. Monday, June 3rd, if you sold a box of chocolate, come hang out, eat some pizza at the Brad Pavilion over at Stony Lake. And then Cedar Point, the week after school gets out. And then you will be hearing from Mr. Gibbons. He's off doing MSPOA stuff tonight, where he's presenting Teacher of the Year to our district president up in Seaway. So he was not able to make it here to give you marching band information tonight, but you will get marching band information over the next couple weeks. If you need anything from me with the transition over to the high school, please let me know. I am an active proponent in the marching band for that. Just making sure that your kid is comfy as they transition into their freshman year. Thank you again for the past 3 years. It's been great. We're going to finish it off with Storm Warriors.